All right, more psychic powers. We got kind of a crazy setup here. Some old, ruined, Gothic cathedral, and we're going to be testing out, showing off a few psychic powers. Yeah, we've got, who knows what kind of warband this is. I don't. I just put a AdMech guy with a bunch of, I'm playing him as, like tech thralls. Anyways, we got an assassin, tech dad assassin over here, and then versus a Thousand Sons led cult that has summoned a chaos spawn. So we're not actually playing the game, we're just showing off some psychic powers, but I always like to set up some little setup, Alright, we'll look at the powers. Alright, we'll just look at them real fast. Catch bullets, psychic shove, I'll zoom out so you can see, crush, we got debris field, psychic weapon, and teleport. So we're going to start with catch bullets here. Alright, so, and just as a reminder, any psychic power can be cast anytime during your turn, during the psyker's turn, but it has to be cast during their turn, I think, unless it has, some exception to that. So, for our first example, we got our Thousand Sons Sorcerer, Psyker right here, and we have our guy, our AdMech leader, shooting at, shooting at this guy. So the catch bullets rule is kind of nice. Here, I'll look at it. The Psyker can stop incoming solid projectiles before they hit him. So he takes a test. If passed, non-energy based ranged attacks have no effect against the Psyker. So, yeah, still have to roll ammo rolls if you're shooting at him, obviously. Has no effect against energy-based shots or psychic powers, lasts until the next turn. So it's kind of an interesting power. You do it on your turn, and then it would last from your turn into your opponent's turn. So I'd set it off, say now, let it go to my opponent's turn, and during that whole turn, not going to be taking any shooting damage from, non-energy weapons. But what kind of ends up happening then is you do not actually, your opponent's probably not going to shoot at you if the shots are not going to have any effect. So instead of really catching the bullets, it more is just a deterrent. Like your opponents know you're invincible from those non-energy things for a turn. Anyways, one other thing I wanted to point out about the psychic power is if this is the closest enemy model to, the shooter, and they don't have, leadership 8 or 9, whatever it is that lets you, leadership high enough so you don't have to shoot the closest model, then they're going to be forced to target the Psyker who can't be hurt by those shots. So that is something to think about. If you can use him as almost like a shield, preventing damage from your other guys. So kind of cool. But this guy who I'm having shoot has an energy weapon in his hand. Just pretend it's not. I just wanted to mention that. He does have an energy weapon. Normally, this psychic power would have no effect against that. But we say it's a projectile. It's coming in. He probably wouldn't even shoot at that point. I mean, it's like a deterrent. This is probably the closest enemy to him. Yeah, maybe this guy is, so he could shoot at this guy if he wanted to, but we'll say he was here for this example, and that pretty much negates any of the shooting this guy could do at any of the cultists or anyone else close. He'd have to target this guy, and then anyways, I spent too much time on this already. Okay, looking at the next power, Psychic Shove. Psyker may target D3 enemy models within 24 inches and line of sight. Roll to hit, so that's with ballistic skill. Each target may be moved D6 in any direction. That's kind of cool. The victim makes contact with a vertical surface. The movement stops, and the victim suffers strength 3 hit. If suspect comes into contact with another model, they do a strength 3 hit and are pinned. If they, yeah, they can be pushed somewhere where they can fall, so there's falling. Psyker fails the test. The Psyker is pinned. That's kind of interesting. Okay. All right, we've changed things around a little here. Just to let you guys get a look at these wonderful models. Let's see. So we've got a little battle about to commence up here at the top. 3 from the AdMech about to jump into combat with our 2 Thousand Suns Marines. And we don't want that to happen. We're going to Psychic shove these guys with the Psychic. So all 3 of them in range and line of sight, rolling D3. We don't actually get 3, we get D3 of them. So 2 of them we get to choose. Maybe the most dangerous, the Assassin and the Leader here. We'll choose them, Psychic shove them. The Thousand Suns, so normally Space Marines are Ballistic Skill 5. Thousand Suns, or sorry, what is it? If you have Mark of Siege, you are getting +1 Ballistic Skill and +1 Leadership. So it's Leadership or Ballistic Skill 6. Hitting on 2 is pretty much, there we go. I forgot that there's 1 more, so that'll be for the Leader. The next is for, yep, they both go off. All right, see how many inches we can shove this guy. It's D6 inches, 5 inches, that's pretty far. See where we want to put him. Nice, so he's gonna be moved back into this wall, slammed into this pillar right here, and falls down, takes a wound. I don't think it's enough of a fall to do. It was less than 3 inches, so not going to do any damage, but hitting that will. So strength 3 hit, wounds on 4s. He might, the doesn't matter. It's a 5, so it would definitely wound. And I don't really have the stats written out for these guys, anyone here. I just grabbed a bunch of models, but this guy would have taken a wound. So I know for the AdMech, their Leader either gets +1 wound or +1 toughness. So whatever, he could have been injury rolled, or he still would have probably had some armor or something. Anyways, let's see. Next is going to be this guy. D6, just 2 inches. Let's see. Oh, well, obviously we're moving this guy into these guys, knocking them together. We'll just leave them where they are, but knock those guys together and pin them both, and I think they both take a strength 3 hit. Let's see. Yeah, both of them. So we'll do the tech throw first. Wounds on 4. Ooh, that's a wound. And for the Assassin, whew, that's a wound. We'll say the Assassin has like mesh armor, so 5+ save. Ooh, nope. So they both take a wound just from that, and be pinned also if they survive that wound. Yikes. Might as well do an armor roll for this guy. We'll call it a 4+. Ooh. Not so good. So let's just do injury rolls for people. Ooh. Down. For this. Down. And this guy. All of them down. So normally I would have left it a while back, but that was I just wanted to show the full effect of how powerful that psychic power is. Throwing people around. Really, really powerful. Alright, Crush is the 3rd psychic power for Telekinesis. It targets the closest enemy within 18 inches and line of sight. So the target of it rolls a d6, adds its strength. The Psyker rolls 2d6, and you compare the totals. So, anyways. Psyker has higher total. The difference is the number of, the difference between it, however much higher the Psyker is the number of wounds the victim suffers. If the victim's is higher by 3 or more, the Psyker is broken and flees 2d6. Okay, that's interesting. So we have this pretty epic battle raging. Got the Psyker up here, and his target, his victim, his constant victim, the poor Magos. So Magos is going to be strength 3, I believe. Yeah, that should be. So strength 3 plus, ooh, we got a 9. That's the highest he can get. And then the Psyker, rolling 2d6. Not high enough. So that would, let's see, 5, 6, 7. That's only 2 higher. I was gonna say, if it was 3 higher, he might have broken the Chaos Sorcerer right here, and he would have had to flee, which would have been pretty funny. But let's go for one more round of it. So that's 6 for the Magos, and the 2d6. Oh man, Chaos Sorcerer is not getting lucky today. Okay, well, we'll say for a test argument's sake that it went off, and let's see. Oh, so it can be pretty varied, the amount of damage you get from it, because it's really based off the dice roll. But it can be a really high strength hit, or it can be completely weak and useless, like you just saw twice. But let's see what the maximum would be. It would be 3 plus 1. And then say we get boxcars. Before against 12, which would leave, what is that, 8? A strength 8 hit. So it can be pretty beefy if the dice are in your favor. All right, so for debris field, we have our Chaos Warband all grouped up right here. And we've got an ambush being sprung on them. So here's the Magos over here watching his ambush be sprung. You got the ambushers and the leader of the ambush, the assassin up top, ready to pounce down on him. And so, did I already go over debris field? Let's see. I did not. So debris field. Psyker takes, yeah, we don't need to read that. That's all flavor stuff. Psyker and any models within 2 inches. Obviously, you're having to take a test. It doesn't say it goes off automatically. So, pass the test. Psyker and any models within 2 inches receive a special field saving throw of 5+ against any range attacks. Any models who so enemy models in hand-to-hand combat with models in the debris field suffer a 1 strength 2 hit. So kind of weak, just little pebbles and shit, but still it damages models that are fighting, you know, in hand-to-hand combat with you, and also saving you against shots. So that's kind of nice. So anyways, it would go off, and then we'd have all these guys move in, obviously trying to take out some of these big creatures. But anyone who's jumping can have the assassin come and try and take out the chaos beast. But anyone who's getting into close combat, taking a strength 2 hit. So maybe we can just roll a bunch of dice, see who would get a wound. How many guys we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll do them in 2 groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, strength 2, and they're all toughness 3, so wounding on 5s. That's 2 wounds, and then the next roll. So just those 2 wounds. We can say one of the wounds was on this guy. His armor's not saving him, so he would die, and maybe someone else, one of these guys. So thinning out 2 models from a mass that's about to charge you, or even having a debris field, I forgot the name there for a second, even having debris field block some shots with that 5+ save could be really good. Yeah, sounds like a cool power to me. All right, we're almost through all these. Psychic weapon. So, yeah, you make a weapon out of psychic energy. Blah, blah. Psyker adds +2 weapon skill, +1 attack. Acts as a force weapon. While this power is in effect, the Psyker may use no other weapons. So he can use armor, equipment, grenades, no guns, I guess. And anyways, Psychic weapon is considered two-handed weapon in hand-to-hand combat. Power lasts until the Psyker's next turn. So it's also preventing you from doing things like overwatching the next turn. Like if you use that thing, you're still going to have the Psychic weapon on. You're not able to use guns or other things. So that's something to think about for Psychic weapon. And we got a setup here. The Astartes normally have 2 attacks anyways. This guy's got Marquisite, so extra leadership, extra ballistic skill. But what am I thinking? Oh yeah, 2 attacks normally. So if he sets off a Psychic weapon, he's getting an additional attack. So since he's fighting so many people, probably a good idea. Set it off to yeah, so he's getting 3 attacks, and they're all at, he's normally strength 4, going up to strength 6, so 3 attacks per combat, strength 6. He's going to be a match for these guys, and he's got the weapon skill 5 already, so. And here's a look at some of the other models around on the board. Oh, you'll see through the windows, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, good stuff. All right, the last one, teleport. I really like this one. Okay, allows the psychic model and friendly within 12 inches and line of sight, so you have to be able to see them and within 12 inches of them. The psychic immediately move 3d6 in any direction, ignoring intervening terrain. The affected model may not, you can't stop in impassable terrain or beyond the table edge. This is something that Eldar gets an additional 1 inch, I guess. Move up to 36. I'm not worried about that. Anyways, so our Psyker has decided this is a lost battle. I know he hasn't lost anybody. I'm just, giving him an excuse to use this ability. So, he says, all is lost, live to fight another day. Sets off his psychic power, and he's turned to face his battle brother, so he's able to see him. He's in line of sight in 12 inches, and setting off his psychic power, he's gonna teleport them away from here. Let's see how far they get. So 3d6 in any direction. 4 inches, that's not very far. So, yeah, I was going to move them, but I was also thinking you could use this in a couple different ways. You could use it at the beginning of your turn before you move, because you're allowed to use psychic powers anytime unless it says a specific time, anytime during your turn. So say before you even like when you're supposed to be doing your charge moves, before you even move, as soon as it becomes your turn, you set the psychic power off. You're allowed to move 4 inches outside of this, and then you could use your move. You could do the Space Marines of movement 5, so they get a 10-inch run after that 4-inch move. Or you could go into combat, charge in, fight off a bunch of guys, and then after, if you want to get out of combat, let's see, could you do that? You'd have to set it off. Yeah, as long as you didn't do any shooting, you charge into combat, you're fighting, you do a turn of fighting, then you do Gate of Eternity or whatever it is, teleport at the end of your turn, and you teleport out of the combat. So a couple ways to use that. I guess we'll find out if one's overpowered eventually when I'm playing with that power. It may need to be limited in some way in terms of the using it before you even move. That could be a little OP. But I guess we'll find out sometime. So that was all the psychic powers. Oh, let me roll one more time to see how far these guys can get, because it could be a maximum of 18 inches that you teleport. Let's see how far these guys get this time. So 9 inches. That'd be pretty far. Let's move and see how far. So I teleported them up here. They probably could have gone further off in a straight direction. Like I could have teleported this Marine just way over by this wall, you know, way out here, and this guy, you know, a ways down over here. Give him some room from all the combat, but also you can just go up. So these guys would have to climb, take a bunch of their movement to climb up here. These guys get some shooting from up top. Yeah, just some stuff you can do with these psychic powers and abilities. Okay, so that's everything. That was the only, you know, just playing with some models pretty much.